Welcome to the fifth lesson of Hands-on Equations. Let's look at what today's student objective is. Today you're going to learn how to take away pawns as part of the setup process. In algebra, this is called combining like terms. Let's look at this equation. It says we have 5 unknowns, and then we're going to take away 3 unknowns, add a 2 to it, and that is perfectly balanced with an unknown and 5 on the other side. Okay, so let's start drawing this out. Let's look at our 5 unknowns. Let me draw these. There's 5. But now it says take away 3 of those. So we literally do what it says, take away 3 of the pawns that you just drew. And we can see that those two terms, 5x take away 3x, really is literal. It means if you start with 5 and you take away 3, you end up with 2 of them. We call that combining like terms because when we just put those together to simplify it to what it really is, it makes the equation much easier to work with. All right, my next term here is a 2, so let's draw that. That's a constant. We know that is 2 there. On the left, I have one pawn, 1x, or unknown, and I have a 5, which I do know, so I show that. All right, now to solve it, we're going to practice the last 2 moves we've learned. Our first legal move is we learned we can take the same pawn from both sides, same number. So I have 1 here. That means I can take 1 away on the left. Our second legal move was the fact I can take the same number value from both sides. So I see that I have a 2 over here. That's what's with my pawn, and my ultimate goal is to get those alone. So that's why I'm going to mark out 2 here, and I've got to do on the right hand side to maintain balance. So when I do mark out that 5, now I've got to think I'm just taking 2 away from it. So that leaves me with 3. So I record that. Now let's look at what we have. Right here, I'm going to show it in yellow. We have only one pawn on the left. On the right, we only have a 3. So it's telling us the pawn is 3. Even though I feel very confident that it's a 3, I'm still always going to check my work because I could have made an error, a subtraction or something. So let's look at this. On the left, 2 3s is 6. 6 plus that 2 gives me 8. On the right, a 3 plus a 5 is also 8. So I have verification that I can confidently say the value of that unknown is a 3. And what verifies that for sure is the fact that it balances with 8 on both sides. All right, let's look at this one. Wow, that looks like a pretty big equation, but I bet when we combine our like terms, it's going to definitely simplify. On the left, it says start with 2 x's. Now it says take away one of them. So go to the eraser, take away one. But then now it says add one. Okay, I'll just add another one. So all of this junk, 2x take away x, add a x, just ends up being 2 x's. On the right hand side, we have an x, and then we have the constant, something we do know, a 9. So let's look at this one. First legal move is take the same amount of unknowns from both sides. So I can take 1 from both sides. The second legal move was take the number from both sides, but I only have a number on the right, so I can't perform that move, and I don't even need to because on the left I have 1 pawn. On the right I have a 9. That pawn has to be equal to 9. It's telling me that. Let's check it just to be sure. If I make all those 9s, look, we have 2 9s on both sides. It means 2 9s is 18. That tells us that x for sure is 19, and what proves it is when I plug that in, we get 18 on both sides. All right, let's look at one more example. Whoa, this one is a big one. All right, no big deal. Let's start with it. We have a constant of 4, so I'm going to draw that. Now, so I took care of that. I've got 3 pawns, 3 x's. Draw them. Take away 2 x's. Okay, I can do that. Take away 2. So I took care of that one. And then now it says add another one. Okay, I'll add another one. So all of this just simplifies to become a 4 and 2 x's. And we can see that now that we've combined our like terms. On the right-hand side, we have an x, an unknown, and a 5. All right, we've got it set up. So first legal move, take the same number of x's from both sides, pawns. So I can take 1 from both sides. Second legal move was take the same number value from both sides, the constant. So I can take 4 away. When I take 4 from that 5, I get a 1. What's left over? Over here we have 1x. Over here we have a 1. X seems like it's got to be 1. Let's check it. If I make these 1s, 4 plus 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. Over here, 1 plus 5 is also 6. So we've got it verified. X indeed is 1. And what verifies that is we get 6 on both sides when we plug it back in. All right, so let's review what you're going to practice today. You're going to practice combining like terms with all of your variables. Your equations are going to start out pretty big, but once you simplify it, combine those together, you'll see, oh, whoa, this is really pretty easy. Practice your legal moves of taking the same number of variables from both sides and same number value from both sides, and it'll almost feel like magic. The answer will be very easy to come up with at that time. But always verify that it's true. Okay? Good luck.